Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Holiday weekend, so glad folks have carved out time to be here together for our service today. On the altar, we have Early Everlasting this morning, which I brought in. And it seems to be a couple of weeks behind this summer, but I found a small portion that I brought in for today's service. And we also have one of our apples from the UU apple tree from the back garden. The tree is just laden down with apples. So there's one of these on the altar today. Today's an Open-Pulpit Service. So again, we're doing a Dale's Choice on a hymn today and a People's Choice on the group reading. So this gives you a chance between now and the group reading. I'm going to take the first request. Remember last time we did this, someone came down during the service and gave me the request. We could do that again if you really want to make sure your reading gives us a record. If not, it's going to be the first hand that I spot from our group this morning. So you can scan the hymn book if you like and find a good reading for today. The Prelude is by jazz pianist and composer Darrell, who was originally out of New York City in the 1990s. And he visited Houlton during that time period. His girlfriend was from Toronto, Ontario, a classically trained violinist who was working as an intern on a local CSA farm here in the area. I remember him playing our grand piano in the parlor. And he also did a few voiceover spots at WHOU for Literacy Volunteers of Holden. He had a great voice. He pretty much played the keyboard, but he also had a great voice for reading. Since 2000, he's been a professor of music at Portland State University. He's a member of First Unitarian Church in Portland. And I attended GA in Portland back in 2007. Met up with Darrell. And at that point, he had married his girlfriend, who we visited in Holden. And we had a chance to hang out and check out the jazz scene in Portland. So this song comes off his double album, Truth and Reconciliation, from 2007. And several of the songs used voiceovers from different speeches and voices from political speeches. And this morning I selected one from JFK's inaugural speech from 1961. And you'll see an excerpt of it in your bulletin. It may be difficult to hear the voice in the production. So this is Darrell Grant from I Shall Believe.
We observe today not a victory of body, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God, the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or prevent the small undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty. This much we pledge and more.
Let us find our breath and our center, noticing the breath and allowing it to be the in-breath and the out-breath. We find our center in this moment, just this, and we hear the sound of the singing. We're going to light our chalice this morning. I wonder, Cindy, if you would do the honors this morning. And Nicole, if you would just brush the wind chime while Cindy is lighting the chalice. We will be our breeze. So the chalice lighting reading I selected this morning comes from Henry David Thoreau. We shall saunter toward the Holy Land till one day the sun shall shine more brightly than ever it has done, shall perchance shine into our minds and hearts and light up our whole lives with a great awakening. Let our chalice shine this morning. So I was on my way to Holden last week, and on the radio, there's a reference to E.E. Cummings. And the DJ read a poem from E.E. Cummings. So I said, this morning's opening words, I'm going to find a poem and select it from E.E. The timing seemed right. So I came up with one of his most popular poems called I Thank You, God, for Most This Amazing. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the Son's birthday. This is the birth, day of life, and love and wings, and of the gay, great happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the no of all nothing human merely being, doubt, unimaginable you. Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are open. It seemed like a good poem. The summer was winding down, and Labor Day weekend. Dale's choice. What's it going to be, Dale?
It's hymn number 25, which we have sung recently. The words were written by Samuel Longfellow, a Unitarian, and it's basically a major hymn and seemed good for this end of summer time. So I invite you to stand if you wish and sing out. Put yourself into it, I think.
When I was looking for a summertime song for the offertory today, I came across one. This might be our last chance to use it for this summer, called Surfboard. Before the surfboard's away. back in the beat, Antonio Carlos Jobim. It's a Brazilian bossa nova tune from 1967. He was the founder of bossa nova, Jobim. So, Matt, if you're up for this. The plate is here. The Mishka is on the back table, collection for local needs, for our congregation in town, Fofo, organ punjar, and building punjar, all on the back panel. May we give hearts and flags. So here's how we do this. Open Pulpit is an opportunity to share poem, reading, music, personal inspiration, deep insight, humor. We have had some stand-up comedy, which is and some great storytelling of it. All of that is included in this group sharing on Sunday. Open Pulpit, to speak from the heart, to speak freely, and to have ears listen, eyes watch, and hearts open. And how we do this is we have our little magic wand that we can use it for Open Pulpit. So when you finish your sharing, just strike the little Tibet bowl as a blessing to the next person who speaks. Open Pulpit is now open.
Hello. For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. On July 24th of this year, our minister, Reverend David Hutchinson, became eligible for Medicare as he turned 65 years of age. For 24 years, David has served our church community, pastoring, nurturing, and loving our church family, creating and overseeing many innovative programs, as well as taking good care of and even cleaning our beautiful building on a weekly basis. Also, over the years, Dave has been actively involved in the Holden community, in civic groups, and when it was still active, in the ecumenical clergy group. Our church was always well represented and had a presence in the local religious community. This past Friday, David was invited to present the message at the Ecumenical Climate Care Service in Monument Park. Dave still remains active and connected with state and national UU organizations. So today, as moderator, speaking for our UU Board of Trustees, per David's request, we are announcing his coming retirement effective on July 24th, 2026. Over these past 24 years, David has preached, inspired, created, worked, loved, struggled, and cried with this congregation. And I will add, as a half-time minister with no added benefits, he has given way over and above all he was financially compensated for. So, well done, good and faithful servant. So we ask, what now? What next? We don't know. What we do know is that this church, meaning each and every one of you here, is a strong foundation stone for our future. Over these past years, you have continued to build on the support and devotion of all our faith ancestors. We have an active and very capable board of trustees, a very active, knowledgeable, and forward-looking group of financial trustees. We have strong lay leadership, excellent and faithful financial support, creativity coming out the walls, which is finding wonderful ways of expression. But most of all, we are a loving and diverse and welcoming community. Yes, David is our beloved leader, but you folks make it all happen, and we are growing. We will also be looking to and counting on all the ways, ideas, and plans that the national UU organization has that can help us move into whatever comes next. I encourage all of you to continue to support David and our church with your presence, your talents, your opinions, your ideas, and of course, your financial support. David, may this be your best year yet. Go for it. You're not alone. God is with you, and we are too, and we love you.
So I'm not going anywhere just yet. I'm going to be here for a year. So as Dale said, we've got a lot of work to do and a lot of things to celebrate. So this is kind of my last time around the cycle. Looking forward to in-gathering next week. A homecoming for our group of old friends and new friends who have joined us. I just wanted to put this out there as Linda and I are planning future days. So again, thank you for sharing your words and the board, the amazing board support.
You can't ask our minister to give a short announcement.
I just chose a reading this morning because I knew it was open pulpit. and I would like to read it. It's about balance. There is a time for work and a time for love. That leaves no other time. Well, at least Coco Chanel recognized that one has to do something besides work. How many of us have ruled out love and living from our lives and seen them as expendable? Even if we are married, we act as if love is a luxury that we can ill afford. Our disease of doing too much has isolated us much more and more from ourselves and others. Just as nature needs balance, people need balance. We need time to be whole persons, and this means balance. We are constantly being drained. Therefore, we need to be fed, and we need time to digest the nourishment. Work and love are better than just work alone. There is more. A human being is multidimensional. A human doing may be more like a drawn line than a faceted gem. It seems appropriate for you, David. There is more to work. There is more than work. And I tell you that as this is obviously one of my favorite books. This is for Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much, which I was given while I had the restaurant, and I was very busy and feeling all the time like every day I just prayed in my car on my way to work for balance and the courage to just get through the day. And I used to apologize to Dale. I have to tell you this story, it's quite funny. I used to apologize to Dale when she would come to the cafe that I just was so sorry. At the time I was a member of the Congregational Church and she was the minister. And I loved going to her service, but I just couldn't drag myself on Sunday morning to go because I was so tired from the week. So I would apologize to her and she'd say, God isn't just in church, Joyce. And I'd say, I know, he's in my car with me every morning when I go to work and say, please get me through the day, no matter how long it may be. And she said, well, God is also in your restaurant. This is your place of fellowship. You come out and you talk with people and you make people feel comfortable and welcome and you treat people so kindly with the wonderful food that you prepare. And she said, and he's also in your kitchen. Because I hear you out there calling to him all the time, Jesus Christ. And I said, oh, thank you. It gave me such a pass of not going to church and not showing up every Sunday. And I thought, oh, I felt so relieved after that I stopped making myself feel so guilty about not going to church, Catherine. Thank you so much.
So I think this whole work theme has good timing. I'm on PTO this week. They basically had to force me out of the office, and they came this close to just shutting off my email so that it didn't work. But I spent a lot of time really just reflecting, spending time with my mom, with friends, and it has been such a restorative time, and I'm really looking at how I incorporate more of that into my daily life. Thanks for the words. I just wanted to read a brief passage from Rebecca Solnit, a piece that she wrote in 2016 about hope, because while I've been resting and reflecting, I've also been struggling with hope. Rebecca says, it's important to say what hope is not. It's not the belief that everything was, is, or will be fine. The evidence is all around us of tremendous suffering and destruction. The hope I am interested in is about broad perspectives with specific possibilities, ones that invite or demand that we act. going to take my glasses off. I can read better without them. It is also not a sunny, everything is getting better narrative, though it may be a counter to the everything is getting worse one. You could call it an account of complexities and uncertainties with openings. Critical thinking without hope is cynicism, but hope without critical thinking is naivety, the Bulgarian writer Maria Popova recently remarked. And Patrisse Cullors, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, early on described the movement's mission as to provide hope and inspiration for collective action, to build collective power, to achieve collective transformation, rooted in grief and rage, but pointed towards vision and dreams. It is a statement that acknowledges that grief and hope can coexist. Let's see if I can ding it. Oh, I can't ding it as well. I have to hold it down. There.
I just wanted to say a few words in response to Dale, you unveiling for us this news, and for you, David. I thought it was interesting, the opening song, and I remembered being an 11-year-old sitting in front of the black and white TV, hearing the president speak. And I was this young, recently married into the Catholic Church. And I remember the absolute elation and excitement that not only was there this young man, but this young Catholic and his family. And I didn't remember any of the words, but I do remember that image of being there and glued to the little television. And what struck me today was when there was the line about passing the torch, and thinking that, we think of the act of passing the torch as being this one little, okay, I'm going to give this to you, but we're now in this beautiful space of preparation for the passing. And I just wanted to acknowledge how much I am welcoming you, David, being able to just fully be our minister for this year. And the incredible trust and belief and action that each one of us will take in terms of how we move ourselves through, how we prepare, and how we begin to move ourselves through this transition. And I'm remembering, you've heard me read Perry Tillis's words many times, my dear, dear friend, my little soul brother, my spirit on the shoulder, still many years later person. And there were two things that he said. While he was very much in his living self, he would remind me always, we have all the time we need. And I remember putting that on the top of my computer, I have all the time I need, which really addressed many of the deficits that I was feeling in my life. And the second thing that he said as he was in his last hours, he put out his little bony hand. So here I am, I have all the time. And he picked out his little bony hand and he said, "Get back to work, Mary Alice." And so it's an and both, and I am truly looking forward to this year where you can let go of all of the other stuff and you get to really be our minister, because that is what we love most about you. Thank you.
With this little message that we have to digest as a church and as a community, I have to say that you give us a wonderful gift of retirement because you're here. You're continuing. We're continuing. And as Mary Alice just said, this is a chance for us to have a wonderful minister, but also to go out to search and find out what are our strengths, what can we all give to this church. And we have plenty of time, but we also have a sense of urgency. We have a sense, it's so positive, and it's positive that you get to do something I did a little earlier in my life, and that's retire. And it is also a wonderful gift, and you're continuing afterwards. You're not gone. You're in our hearts. And I really feel this is a day we have a lot to celebrate. And I think there's a whole year ahead of us where we have a lot to celebrate. And as we find our own souls to do what we need to do as retired or working people supporting this church, we will also find new people supporting us. So I'm looking forward to the future. I'm sad of the certainty of you always being there is something we have to deal with, but I think you give us a gift. And thank you very much. Oh, we all forget to do the one thing because this is a big message.
Just leave it on the table, the resolution.
Not a strike, this one too.
Thank you for chiming for me.
Well, I'm not going to hide behind the music stand, but going in a totally different direction. Last night I was just surfing around on the web and saw a thing about dachshunds and how they are very clingy. And of course, yes, Elvis is very clingy. And this morning, as I was waking up, I realized he had his back to me, but he was laying next to me, but a little, like arm's length away. So I just kind of reached over and I petted him, and just petted him, and I felt the bed shake, and he had kind of moved over a little bit closer to me. So I petted him again. And he did it again. And I was like, so is he like trying to shrug me off, or is he moving closer? I wasn't sure. So I reached out and I found his head, and I was like scratching his head and scratching his chin. And then I stopped, and he did it again. And I was like, which direction is he moving? So I was like, oh yeah, he is getting a little closer. Okay, so I petted him. He did it again, and this time he was like right up against me. And then he starts squirming until he was like flat right against me. And the whole length of his body was up against me, and I'm like this, as he's pushing against me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the Velcro has come. But it's just, and you know, as the thing on the web was saying, you know, they want to protect you, and they want you to protect them, and you know, as long as they're there, everything's okay.
Last call. As we extinguish the chalice this morning, we leave with this exchange of our lives, our hearts, our emotions on this day. May we move forward as one, move forward together, move forward into the next that is to come.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to show your support, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and help us out by sharing this message by clicking the share button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to you, Church Houlton, there is a link to our online donations in the video description down below. And again, thank you so much, and have a blessed day.